Alright, I had to change. That shirt was way too warm. So, I finally caught up with Days. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Lobbies for Hobbies. Again, I am your entertainer, Ephraim. I hope you've had a great day despite everything that is going on in the world currently today as of the recording of this video. Things are pretty crazy out there, right? I hear it. I know. It's just... But we're here to just kind of not forget about it, but to relax and, come out with a fresh perspective, a fresh mind, so that when this video is over, you can go back and tackle all those worries you had before you started watching the video. And don't worry, I'm going to do my best to make this video very short. Hopefully. I tend to go on tangents, you know that. But we're going to be talking about one of my, well, I guess right now, currently, one of my favorite mangas. And it's Days. Days, for those who don't know, is a soccer manga or a football manga or football manga. However you like to say the name of the sport. I didn't always love the sport, let me just tell you. When I was a kid, way little, younger, before the age of 8, I would say, I didn't enjoy sports in general. But around age 8, my dad started his own little soccer team, and I was in it because my dad was the coach, so I was in it. My siblings also became a part of it, and I had actually had some very, very fond memories of that time. And I finally came to know the team that I support even today, which is this badge right here. FC Barcelona. I love this team. This is my these are my colors. This is a knockoff shirt. I can't afford the real thing. It's like $100. But one day, hopefully, when I have more monetary, relief, like I can actually afford spending $100 on a shirt, I'm gonna buy myself an official shirt. Possibly one with the name Lionel Messi on it. And if you don't know who that is, Google him. He's one of the greatest to ever play the game. It's a joy. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because Days, I picked it up because it was a football manga. It was a soccer manga, and I've never really gotten into sports anime beforehand. I first saw the anime, by the way. I didn't pick up the manga until the anime was done. So my first interaction with this source material is from the manga. From the anime, my bad. So that's why I went for it, and I loved it. I loved the characters. I loved how it is a pretty much generic underdog kind of story, but that's sports in general. Just having that underdog feeling, that feeling like you need to improve and constantly just better yourself, and it's contagious, and just there's some good life lessons in here that people take for granted, I feel. And that passion that I have for storytelling is what I feel the characters feel for when they play soccer. I played soccer when I was a kid, and I loved playing soccer with my friends. I never took it too far because I knew I didn't have the technical ability to continue the soccer. I did try out for my high school soccer team. Failed miserably. No, it was my junior high soccer team. I failed miserably. I got a cramp on my leg, I think on day 2 of the tryouts, and I was never gonna get it. I felt the pressure that is being in a team and I just collapsed. It's one of my regrets of that happening to me, and I wish I've done better, and I wish I actually gave it another shot and tried out the next year, and watched my weight and worked out and all that. That's one regret I do have, but we moved past that, and I'm no longer in school, so that dream is kind of, it's dead, but I can still play for fun. If I ever have any friends that are down to go play, I'm always going to be happy to go play soccer. And reading Days kind of just reminded me of how much I love the sport, and how much I love everything that goes into the sport. But the reason why I really love this Days and why I recommend it is because it definitely is because of the characters. This is a very like all good sports series, mangas, films, the sport isn't the main attraction. It isn't what is the focal point of the story. It is just the driver. It is what drives the plot, but not the story. And that is two distinct things I think some people take for granted. Plot and story don't are different things. So soccer and days drives the plot. It's what makes the story. It's what takes the characters from point A to point B. But the story is about the characters and how they deal with the sport in their day to day life, and how they some of them are aiming to go to that professional level, and some of them are aiming just to make the most out of their days in high school and just enjoy their soccer to their fullest. And the dreams and the hopes and the aspirations and the defeats and the crush like sensation they feel when it doesn't go their way is it's heart pounding, it's heartbreaking, and it makes me love the sport all the more. And it definitely is more biased because I love soccer. So maybe someone who doesn't love soccer or isn't really particularly fond of soccer will feel the same. But I feel Days does an amazing job of me just realizing why I love the sport. Now, I do have to offer some critiques because this can't just be praisal, 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 praisal. So, characters aside, I mean, I'm stumbling on words here. Characters aside, the characters are great, so I can't really say much about them. The story takes its good time to develop each character, and even characters you thought was side characters, like just fodder characters that don't really do anything in the story, they have their own spotlight and they have a purpose and they have their own dreams, which is really nice to see because soccer is a team sport. There's 11 players on the field on each team. And that means there's 22 players on the field aiming to win, and each have their own goals. But this is where the critique comes in because all those perspectives and all those all those chapters dedicated to those who are technically side characters, because we know who the main cast is. We know who is the core group in the story, in the manga, and everybody else is technically a side character. Doesn't mean they're not important. They're just they aren't the main focus of the story. But the story tries so much to make each side character have a purpose and aspirations and dreams that sometimes the story does take a hit and it drags in some places. It's still to the point where he doesn't do it too often or too much. I can still read the whole thing because they usually only gives it like about a chapter for each side character, and it makes each match, which is like 80 minutes in totality, up to like 20 chapters a match, 20-30 chapters a match, and it's like a chapter 250. So there's only ever been like 10 matches on and all. And it's very quick paced. There's no time to breathe sometimes, and that could be to his detriment. But at the same time, we get it. We're currently like in this tournament where things have to happen back to back, and it's realistic to real world where they just have to play from they rest 2 or 3 days and they go back onto the field and they start playing again. Again, it's not very realistic when they can play one match of soccer and then the next day they play another match of soccer, and sometimes that is how it feels. Like they go back to back playing 2 matches, and that like no one can do that. That's insane to have to go through that. But those are the minor nitpicks. So if you are interested in watching Days, you are interested in reading the manga, go for it. I recommend it. It is a bit long, but hey, you can take it at your own time. And this isn't a manga that requires you to sit down and binge the whole thing. This is a manga that you can take your time and enjoy the ride and enjoy the characters, and I'd highly recommend it. So please, guys, that's pretty much the end of the review. That's where I caught up to Days. I did leave it behind for a bit, not because I didn't like it, but because I got caught up in other stories, other manga that were at the time more interesting. But then I finally got back to it, and I read I read the 100 chapters or so that I needed to catch up in like a week. It was just too good for me to put down. That's what happened. Please pick it up. Please check it out. And that's about it. Thank you for watching, and outro time. Thank you for coming to the Lobbies for Hobbies. I hope you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did, check out my other videos on YouTube, catch me streaming on Twitch, hear my podcast, read my articles on Medium, or check out my social media. I have Twitter, I have Instagram, and I have a Facebook. All of the links will be in the description below, so go check me out. All of them are under @Lobbies for Hobbies. I have been your entertainer for the day, Ephraim Lagunas, and I hope to see you next time you check in at the lobby. Till next time.